Hiya, so today I'm going to be talking about Board Gay Werewolf by Tony Santorella, and this is a book that I received in an Abominable Book Club box, which was a couple months ago I think, and I really was excited when I saw this. I thought it sounded really interesting. I really like stories around werewolves. Out of all the kind of mythical creatures, werewolves are one of my favourites. I really enjoy reading stories about them. And this one, I will have to say, it was quite slow to begin with. I don't know if it was the story or I was just in a bit of a reading slump, but when I first started reading this book, I did actually contemplate DNFing it, because I got about a quarter of the way through the beginning. And although it was somewhat there was some interesting things to the story, I don't know, it just didn't quite grip me. It starts off, you're following a guy called Brian, and he works in a restaurant or bar, and you're just getting a view of his everyday life. You know, he kind of is categorised as a bit of a loser who lives on his own. He basically just goes from home to work. He's a little bit lazy, or very lazy I should say, and yeah, he's just going about his daily life, not much excitement in his life, not much to it. Yeah, you're kind of getting to know him, getting to know what he's like as a werewolf, because he's already a werewolf when the book begins. And then one day he gets very drunk. He's a bit of an alcoholic. He gets very drunk when he's about to change into a werewolf, and then an incident happens in a park and he meets another werewolf who tracks him down, and they are complete opposites. Like I said, Brian's very lazy, he's very much just plodding along in his life, and then he meets this other character, and this other guy is very driven. He comes from a successful family. He's a very motivated person. He wants to kind of make this whole pack, and he's got this whole like program it's like a self-improvement program, like a self-help program, but for werewolves, and he wants to kind of trial this with Brian, and he kind of convinces him to basically work with him on this like trial run of a self-help werewolf group. And yeah, the character dynamic was interesting because they were just complete polar opposites. But yeah, I do think it took a little bit long for this book to kind of get into the meat of the story. But once it did, I am glad I stuck with this book. I'm glad I didn't DNF it. And I'm kind of putting it down to just being in a reading slump, why it took me so long to get into this book. Because like I said, once I did get into it, it was really interesting, it was really funny. I kind of found Brian a little bit annoying in the beginning, but then by the end of the book, I really liked him, and I really enjoyed him as a character, and I was kind of rooting for him. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that, I got interrupted and I can't remember exactly where I was up to in the video. But yeah, this guy's making a self-help group, so Brian kind of goes off with him, and it's about friendship struggles, because obviously he's kind of leaving behind his other friendship group to kind of go off with this new guy, and his other friends are concerned about him. They're not all too happy he's going off with this other guy. I don't really like this other guy. So yeah, the differences in their personalities kind of comes through in the differences in their relationships with their friends, as he gets more into this kind of group culty kind of scenario, and then, you know, gets a bit panicky and is not sure, is he going to stay with this group? Like, which group is he going to choose? Is he going to choose his new friends, who are the werewolves, so he can relate more to them on the werewolf side, or is he going to ditch this kind of culty group and go back to his original friends who he works with in the bar, who are concerned about him, and obviously he relates more on a human side with them. So yeah, it's interesting. It's like the dynamic, like is he going to choose the werewolf side or the human side, and what the outcome is going to be, and is it going to be even easy for him to leave this group. So yeah, I got more into the book when it got more into that kind of stuff. I'd say probably about more halfway through till the last quarter I really enjoyed. I'd probably give that like a 4-star, and then the first quarter of the book I'd probably give like a 3-star. I think overall I would probably give it a 3. I don't know if I could see myself reading this again, but I am glad I read it. It was definitely fun. When I first saw it, when it came out of the box, I was like, oh, this is going to be really funny, it's going to be humorous, it's going to be entertaining, and it definitely was. I'd say from the second half of the book definitely was. I found it more entertaining and more funny. He got himself into some silly scenarios, and I was intrigued to see how it would end. You know, which group was he going to choose? Who was he going to end up with? So yeah, it was a good book. I'm glad I read it. If you like kind of not too gory, not too serious werewolf books, then I would recommend this. It's really good. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. Oh, Tyler, that was the name of the other guy. I couldn't remember his name. It's Brian and Tyler. So yeah, as he gets closer to Tyler, he starts to drift away from Nikki and Darby, who are his other friends. So yeah, it's kind of like a who's he going to choose, where's he going to end up. It is an entertaining read if you're looking for kind of like a light-hearted quick werewolf book. I would recommend this. I would give it a 3 out of 5 overall. Not fantastic, one of my favourite werewolf stories I've ever read, but it's definitely up there in the entertainment level. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Let me know your thoughts down below. Have you seen this book? Are you interested in reading it? I hadn't heard of it until I received it on the Abominable Book Club. Yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. So if you like this review, stay tuned for more book reviews I have coming up soon. I actually have a lot of content I'm posting soon. I have unboxings, I have hauls, I have a lot of Halloween hauls coming up, and lots more book reviews. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So until next time, thank you for watching. Bye guys.